Hey, take two, everybody. I don't know what happened. My internet dropped or something, and the Facebook dropped me, said it wasn't working. There was an error. But anyway, we're going to try this again. So, Leslie Togorda here, your brand navigator and brand strategist using business astrology and brand strategy. But here we are about to talk about the new moon in Libra. My business, New Moon Creative, it's all about the new moon, and I am super excited that tomorrow at 11:26 a.m. Pacific and did I say 26 or 36? 11:36 a.m. Pacific and 2:36 Pacific, 2:36 p.m. Eastern, it's going to be the new moon, right? So the new moon is when the sun and the moon are at the exact degree, right? So you know that we are officially in Libra season. The sun is in Libra. All of the inner planets, well, not all of the inner planets. Mercury is in Libra. Venus is in Libra. And tomorrow the moon is going to be in Libra. And it's just such a fantastic time. Hi, Joanna. And Libra, Libra season is about, it's the scales, right? So it's about balancing and harmonizing and bringing justice for everybody. Now, the other thing about Libra is it's this polarity between needing to be ourselves and needing to be connected, right? So if you love astrology for relationships and stuff like that, of course, when we talk about Libra season, it's all about business astrology. Libra represents our ideal customers, right? Our ideal customers are our ideal business partners, right? These are the people that we commit to serve. These are the people that we promise that we're going to help them through our offerings, right? So when we think about Libra and what we want to set our intentions, right? The new moon is all about setting intentions. For those of you who don't know me, I'll just go through my spiel really quickly. When we work with new moon energy, it's about creating a vision, like seeing our goal in our mind, in our heart, feeling our goal as if it already exists, and forgetting about how we are going to get to that goal, right? New moon is not about strategy. It's not about how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, where you're going to do it. It's about seeing your goal and seeing your vision and using that as the seed that you're going to plant, right? And so when we look at the Libra energy, earlier I was talking about our committed relationships. And if we're talking about business, our committed relationships are our ideal customers, right? Not our customers like Mr. Right Now or Miss Right Now, right? Our ideal customers are the people that we really truly want to serve, right? And now for most businesses, especially when you start out, you decide to serve a lot of different types of customers. And that's going to take you, it's going to take you a little bit, right? It's not going to take you into like the far off, deepest parts of your business. When you try to serve too many people, you end up not serving anybody very, very well, right? But when you commit to serving one type of person, then all of a sudden you can get really deep in the way that you present your offering, in the way that you talk about your offering, in the way that you create all of your marketing and your branding materials. When you know exactly who that ideal customer is, then everything is set out. Now, for some people, it's really easy to know who their ideal customers are, right? I'm thinking of like a friend who has a floral CEO design, a CEO firm, right? She helps florists. Very easy, very cut and dry. Now, with my business as a business astrologer, that was a little bit hard for me. When you say, oh, who's your ideal customer? I'm like, well, it's a woman business owner who likes astrology. Way, way too wide, right? That is not exactly it. So over the last couple of years, I've been trying to refine and refine and refine, and I finally figured out exactly who my ideal customer is. Now, if you were to do an Astro Brand reading with me, hi, Liana. if you were to do an Astro Brown reading with me, we could look at the 7th house cusp and kind of create the energy around your ideal customer. But more so than just the energy of that ideal customer, you know, we can put demographics on them. We can, you know, do all kinds of things with that strategically and energetically, right? But when you're working on your own business, it's sometimes really, really hard to see that, right? So in my 7th house, I have Sagittarius, right? And when I think about the Sagittarius ideal customer, it doesn't mean that all of my customers are going to be Sagittarius. That's not true at all. But what it's going to mean is that they're going to have this energetic attraction to the ideals of Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius are all about finding a belief system that is really important to them. And how I finally figured out in business how that translates is that for Sagittarius people, they know that their work has to be significant. Their work has to have meaning, and their work in somehow is bigger than them. They have this big vision to share with the world. So I've been working, you know, a lot and just trying to create the language with that. So tomorrow, for all of you, when you're going to be setting your new moon intention, what I would really, really love for you to do is start to entertain some of these questions on how you want to define your ideal customer. Right? So some of the questions that I would love you to go inward with, let me pull this up here, is not how to attract your ideal customer, and it's not where to find your ideal customer, but it's about who they are, who is your ideal customer, and it's about the commitment that you are going to make to them that will make you irresistible. Okay, I'm going to say that again. It's about defining who your ideal customer is and the commitment, the promise that you are going to make to them so that your brand and business becomes irresistible. All right. So some of the questions that you could start to ask yourself if you're not super clear, or say you already know who your ideal customer is, but you're still getting kind of some people who are not energetically a 100% fit. Because tomorrow the new moon, the moon and sun conjunction is going to be in Libra, and it's going to be an exact opposite to Chiron, the asteroid of the wounded healer, right, of healing. So in certain ways, if we're not able to connect to our ideal customer, our ideal business partner, or, you know, if you're just going to go into the love thing, right, I'm not going to, I'm going to support you fully there. If that's like really what your goal is for Libra new moon, is about finding your perfect relationship, right? Maybe tomorrow's intention setting should be around what from past relationship hurts needs to be healed, right? When we look at our past relationships, where they are personal relationships or business relationships, right? If you've been in business long enough, you've had clients that have not been ideal matches. You've had clients that have gone south or sideways, however you want to talk about it. Hi, Tasha. Good to see you here, right? So when we think about some past business hurts, right? Is there anything that needs to be healed in your heart before you can kind of move on, right? What were some of the lessons there that you need to really take to a deeper level? Like, you might intellectually know, like, okay, I'm never going to hire that kind of customer. I'm going to have a certain type of contract. But before you even get there, what needs to be healed, right? So that could be a wonderful thing to set an intention around. Is there, if there's any kind of hurt or healing that needs to be addressed before you can take the next step, right? Specifically, like, of course, personal relationships, that kind of healing with the Chiron opposition, with the sun moon conjunction, is going to be so beautiful tomorrow, right? So if we're talking about business partnerships, right, some of the things that you might want to intend could be, how do you want to relate to your ideal customer. Okay. Now, when I'm saying how, like earlier I said, I don't want to talk about the strategy. I want you to vision the relationship that you want to have with your ideal customer, right? Is this relationship full of ease? Is this relationship where your customers are making all of those, the promises that you're giving them? They're getting that wonderful transformation, right? What is that relationship that you want to create? The feeling or the integrity or the connection with you and that ideal customer. That would be a perfect intention to set tomorrow. Another one is, how do you see your partnerships? Again, not the strategy of how, but looking at how you want to see your partnerships with other maybe promotional partners. So for example, if you have an affiliate program or if you have a referral program or you want other people to talk about your offering, your programs, that could kind of be a relationship that you want to kind of define as well. So I know for me specifically, I know that my business works really, really, really well on referrals. I could be thinking about the kinds of relationships I want to create with referral partners or affiliate partners. That would be a wonderful intention to set for tomorrow, right? Another thing is about negotiations. We all have to negotiate in business. What you can call it other things, you know, you can call it sales, you can call it negotiations, you can call it whatever you want to call it. But we also always have to negotiate. And negotiation is about creating boundaries, right? It's about saying, I'm going to give you this in exchange for that. And so in negotiations, especially women entrepreneurs, we tend to shy away from negotiations. And what ends up happening is that these boundaries are unclear. People start taking more than they're giving. All kinds of things can happen when we are not like fully planted in our negotiations. So another thing that you could talk to kind of intend tomorrow could be around how you want to feel when you negotiate. By capturing that feeling and identifying like how you want to do it. Again, not the strategy, not the steps on how to negotiate, but the result of the negotiations. Okay, I see Tasha has a comment here. I'm working with some media people right now to get my brand visible. Oh my gosh, so that's a fantastic opportunity, right? So tomorrow, and we're thinking about your ideal customers, right? Tasha, with your, your brand mission of creating a bigger platform for people to stop texting and driving to save their lives, right? And like connecting with media people are amazing. So part of your intentions could be the result. What will be the result of connecting with the right media people, right? So one of the things that you could define is like, what would make the perfect media connection, right? What are some of the qualities of the perfect media connection? It could be like, well, this person's a TV personality and they're going to bring me on their show. Maybe they have a podcast and they're going to bring you on your show. Or maybe they're like any kind of like whatever you might want to, whatever the result is, right? So define the relationship with that media person in relationship to the result that you want to have, right? And for you also, Tasha, because your target market, like the people who are texting on the phone, which is like while driving, is pretty much everybody, right? You could talk about defining what is the result. Like when they hear you, what is the result that you want to have? Right? So seeing how like those kinds of intentions, that's what I mean when we're defining the connection between us and our ideal customers or our ideal partners in business, right? So Tasha says, I'm learning to negotiate. Being an introvert makes it hard. Well, negotiation, like any skill, just takes practice. It takes doing it a lot of times. And when you negotiate, the biggest thing to know is your walk away, right? Every time you offer something, something else has to be offered in return of equal value. If somebody wants to take away something, then you must also take away. And you also have to be really certain when it's time to say goodbye. Never, ever give in. I learned this at a very young age when I first started business. It was such a blessing. One of my clients, my main clients when I was starting a business, was a negotiation speaker. And so he taught me all of the tips and tricks about negotiating. And it is really a dance, right? You can't really dance if you're both not going in the same direction. And then you have to know when the dance is over and it's time to walk away. You're so welcome, Tasha. Right? So I would love to know if, who your ideal customers are, if you have any thoughts of some intentions that you want to set tomorrow, or maybe you need help with deciphering what might be a good intention to set tomorrow. Please post them in the comments and I'll take those. I'll just go on with my little notes here. I want to make sure that I'm covering everything. The other thing about Libra, right? Libra is about balance, and it's about harmony, and it's about justice, right? Making sure that there's a lot for everybody. So, if you are an activist, right? Libra season is perfect. Now, one of the pitfalls of Libra, unfortunately, because Libra is always trying to balance, is that Libras can get stuck in indecision making, right? I've learned this from working with a few Libra, like heavy Libra energy clients, is that they get stuck with trying to make the right decision because they can see every single decision, right? That is such a hard energy to deal with, right? Hi, Shannon. Good to see you here. So another thing with intentions, especially if you have a difficult time making decisions, right? A good intention for you might be, what does balance look like in your business? Right? So if we can understand in business, you want to feel or look a certain way, when you're having to make those tough decisions, you can then say, okay, well, I want to feel powerful. And then if you're making a tough decision, is this decision going to work to help me achieve that feeling of power? Right? So that was just an example. You might want to feel loving, right? So how are your decisions going to help you feel loving? So that intention was around, what does balance look like in your business, right? Another thing about Libras, right? Because Libra is ruled by the planet of Venus, and Venus, of course, is about self-worth. It's about beauty. It's about aesthetics. It's about romance and love, and of course, relating to others, right? Not just romantic partners, but friends and all that fun stuff. Sorry, my hair is curly and it's distracting me. I'm looking at myself in the video and going, I don't like my hair. I hardly wear it curly anymore, which is perfect about aesthetics, what I'm going to be talking about. Is there an aesthetic you want to bring into your business, into your personal brand, into your business brand, right? Now, aesthetics, beauty is different for everyone, which is so fantastic, right? Especially in today's day and age, there is a color, a texture, a size of beauty, an age of beauty for every single person. So what is the aesthetic of beauty that you might want to foster and bring more into your brand? That would be a perfect intention to set for tomorrow's new moon in Libra, right? So I'm curious to know, oh, there's more. Oops, sorry. Oh, Shannon, yep, that's me, double Libra. Oh gosh, I know, we're gonna talk about that. There is Libra medicine, okay? It is a very, very hard energy. There's been a bunch of Libra people that have gone through Crystallize with varying amounts of success because of this, like the challenge of making decisions, right? Tasha says, I need help communicating without being weird. So I'm curious to know, Tasha, what do you mean by weird? weird can mean so many things. So if you have this kind of idea that you're coming across weirdly, when you set your intentions, what does the opposite of weird look like for you? What is the empowering version of weird, right? That is the intention that I would maybe choose to set tomorrow. Joanna says, my intention is to define that idea of balance in my business. Yes. So, you know, this idea of balance in business can mean different things for different people, because people, of course, we all need different things. Now, I know, talking a little bit about a human design, there are a lot of projectors in this group. Now, I think, Shannon, you're not a projector, you're a manifesting generator. But some of the people's charts that I looked at, when you're a projector, you need a lot of downtime. And Joanna, I'm not sure if you looked at your human design, but I'm suspecting that you also might be a projector. I know I'm a projector. And as of late, I really try to have an hour of downtime in my day. Like during business hours where I'm not taking any calls, I'm not doing any work. Maybe I'm going to go take a nap. Maybe I'm going to go walk around the neighborhood, but I'm not doing anything because I need that balance. I need some alone time where I can kind of just amp up my batteries again. Right? So I would love to know if there is any other, what balance means for you, Joanna. I'm super excited because you're off, Joanna's off into a next chapter of her story. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how you integrate everything that we've learned in Past Crystallized. Joanna is a Past Crystallized alum, and how you will integrate some of your learnings into your business, right? So another fantastic way to set an intention tomorrow is like when we talk about our ideal customers, right? And we talk about balancing the self and balancing the collective we, right? Another thing is that when we work with ideal customers, it's not that we're just like, you know, providing information and helping them transform. We're also receiving, we're also learning, right? You've all heard the expression that when you teach, you're actually, if you want to learn something deeper, you teach it, right? So as you teach, you become so much wiser because you're looking at how other people are reacting to your teachings and how to improve those things. So if you're kind of in a space right now that you're really looking to collect more information, you could be thinking about setting an intention of what you want to learn from your ideal customer. So for example, I was talking earlier about the businesswoman who services just florists, right? So she's super clear on her ideal customer. So maybe an intention for her is, as she continues to evolve her program, what does she want to learn from her ideal customer so that she can make her course even more rich with information and value, right? So I think that is all I have. I would love to see if you set a ritual for tomorrow. Libra is an air sign. So if you want to incorporate some air elements, if you want to do some breathing exercises, or if you want to, you know, as you're driving, roll down the window and feel the breeze in your hair as you're driving and thinking, not texting. You know, if you want to climb to the highest mountaintop or hilltop in your neighborhood and feel an ocean breeze, anything that's going to kind of give you that inspiration, right? Again, Libra as an air element. Air elements are about relating, right? And Libra more so is about those deep connections to others, right? So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I would love to know what intentions you're setting for the Libra new moon tomorrow. If there's anything that you want to heal from past relationships, that might be a wonderful intention again. If you're not already signed up for my newsletter, you know, DM me. I'll put your email on my newsletter. The email newsletter is going to go out on Sunday, but I'm going to recap some of the things from some of these questions that we talked about today about how to set your intent, what to set your intentions on, rather. And even if you can't get to your new moon intentions tomorrow on Saturday, you have, 24 to 48 hours so that you can really harness that new moon energy, right? So excellent, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. And be sure to share your intentions here, right? Like with the full moon clearing, when we get to share our intentions together, all of our energies and all of our intentions have so much more power to really come to fruition. All right. Happy Friday, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.